Hi everyone, right, I just wanted to show you my little project that I've been doing tonight. Very simple, very basic, and anybody can do it. You can make them look shabby chic, steampunk, whatever you want. And this is my little, actually I'm just going to glue that bit in. I didn't realise that going around the edge of the shoe like that, it didn't stick it properly. It has now. 2 ticks and I'll describe it to you what I've done. Might need to go around and do that to all of the shoe. Yeah, I think I will. Right, what I've done is I made a chipboard base, like a foot, and I wanted it pointed, so that was like that. I then covered the bottom of it with felt. Then I made a template for the sides of the boots, and it was more like, you know, one of these, oh, what do they call them, that have bells on their things and mess about. Oh, you know what I mean. One of those. So, I was going to do the toes sticking up and then I changed my mind. But I wish I had done now because it turned out great. When I was stitching the 2 pieces together, I then realised after I cut the felt out the same as well. So I cut 2 of those out in felt. Piece of felt on the bottom of the sole. Once I'd got the shape of this, I then I stitched the front of it all the way up to the pointed bit here, to about here, so all the way down there. Not sure if you can see that, let me show you it like that. I stitch it from the toe and I come up to about here. And then it wasn't big enough to put on the sole, so what I had to do was put a back panel in, which was great really because it looks better. So I took a long strip, cut out the V's at the top, and attached that to the left and the right hand side of the shoe. And they're easy to do, and it's all made from felt. After that I stuffed the toes, put some trim around here, and then added a bell, little cream bell, to the end of each one, so you can hear mine shake. And I call it my novelty shoe. I like it, I think it's great. Did one of these, you know, to put on it at the front. Put some little pearls there. This is just a bit of trim going over. I did underneath, I've put some trim going around the that section which is just above the stick pin holder. The little cushion in there. And yeah, and I've got some stick pins in there. Easy to do, to be honest. You could do it any shape really. I quite enjoyed doing that and just put a bit of trim around the edge. So a novelty stick pin holder, which is going out as a gift. Not the pins. I will make some pins because they were actually made for me. I will put some stick. What I'll do is I'll put some plain stick pins in, and that person will have some stick pins to make, and they'll be the 3-inch ones. So I'll just put a dozen in there. But yeah, don't you like that? I think that's great. A nice little project. I love it. Watch. Listen. I mean, I could have that stood up. What I've done, I've glued it underneath to hold that down because of the weight of the bells. But you could have it open more. You know, you can have it how you want. I just think that's this. What do you think? Oh, tippled over with the weight. So what you need, I'm going to glue that down. What you need is a piece of chipboard for the sole. You need 2 pieces, unless you want to put a heel in it. Try and do it long enough for the shoe itself. And all that is look, is that shape. See? And then turn it over at the end when you've stitched it. This is glued on. The actual shoe is glued onto the edge. I didn't need to stitch it. I just glued it on. Like that. And it were perfectly fine. Oops, pin come out. Oh, God, another cold. It's doing me head in. But yeah, and then just... these are only glued on. They're not stitched on. I stitched one on. I thought, oh, it was too much messing about. I'll glue it on. And then just put the trimming on around the edge. So... handmade, flower centre on there, and I think that's quite groovy. So yeah, a novelty stick pin holder. Try them. Shabby chic, steampunk, whatever you want. make them out material. To stiffen it, what you could do, and I'm just saying as a little tip, if you cut 2 of those out and then put 4 lots of material, you could glue that into the material if you're going to do a material one, and that way it will help stiffen it and stand up. But I would only put the board to there. I wouldn't do this, because if you want it to fold over, it'll flap over the board then. Okay, so that's just a little tip. Felt one will stand up on its own. Don't forget, it has got some wadding inside and a little pin cushion that I've made. But yeah, have fun. See you soon. Bye bye for now.